What up, y'all, and welcome back to another Pokemon Pocket video. I'm your boy Ben, and I'm so excited to get into today's video because I had posted a video about like my thoughts on what I'd love to see for this new mini set that's coming out hopefully on Monday, and you all flooded the comments with your ideas. Y'all are so creative. Y'all are actually insane, and like I'm like, hey, people need to take note on what y'all are coming up with. And so I was like, why not just share this out and react live for you all? And so if you like the ideas that are here, let me know in the comments, react with your own ideas or like other ways that you would see how some of these things could work out, because there are some great things that are coming. Before we get into it, y'all, only 2% of you who are watching are subscribed, so go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, click the notification bell button so that you do not miss out on a thing, because we are going to hit 10,000 subscribers before the end of the year, and we need you to make that happen. All right, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so here's our first one, which is like pretty sweet. We have from Christopher, who talks about, here's an idea for an event. Fields like in the anime. After each victory point, have a field change. Fields could increase certain damage types or grant effects based on Pokemon weaknesses, like fighting types being weak to Psychic have their retreat costs lowered. Here's an item card, Rare Candy, that adds 10 HP and lowers weakness by 10. Let's talk about the item card, and let's really get into this that event of Fields for it, right? Because I think that's pretty sweet. So the Rare Candy, I know in like the normal TCG, I correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, please let me know. It allows you to skip the evolution. So if I have a Charmander, I play Rare Candy, then I play Charizard. Or I have a Routes, I play Rare Candy, and I play a Gardevoir. That's scary if we include that into this game. So I think this idea of like, hey, here's the name of a card that we all know, but we're gonna change the effect is pretty cool. Having cards that like heal and like have like a cost effective to make you think about it, I think is always an interesting choice as well too. So like, I don't mind that take, but I think the real piece that Christopher touched on here is this event feels. I think this is so dope. I mean, we already have whatchamacallit, the effects like when we are battling in like VGC. You have like the terrains, like grassy terrain heals. You have psychic terrain that there's no priority moves, electric terrains no statuses. So like, I think that idea of like taking like those kind of terrain fields and then implementing them in the TCG fashion to affect how you play the game is very interesting. I think it keeps the random factor because you don't know what's coming out there, and if it changes after each victory point from either person, you could see 2, because like, you know, at minimum you'll see 2, not 3, because 3 means the game is over, or you could see up to like 4 of them. It's cool. I like this idea. The piece of increasing certain damage types, or I think the piece here is granting effects. I like the blanket effects. I like the you can't be statused, or you get your retreat. Everyone gets their retreat cost lowered. Something that impacts both of the fields, so that way both players are able to use it to the kind of their advantage. Or this idea that like a fighting type is now no longer too weak to a psychic type because they just happen to get lucky in that matchup or in that field for it. I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are on this one. I thought this was great and a good way to start this video. Daniel shared a lot of good ideas, and what I think that this really comes down to is just let's see some more EX mons in the game. And they chose Snorlax EX, Lickitung EX, Persian EX, and Golduck EX. Persian gets 132 normal energy, 70 damage, steel. An opponent chooses one card to discard from their hand, and it has a 1 retreat cost. I think that's great. I think that the opponent choosing is like similar to how like you get to choose for Sabrina, so like we've seen that effect before, and it allows Persian to like it still falls under the discard here. I think this might hurt more because you are automatically getting the discard now, and so like this idea of mill could be like real scary as well. Lickitung gets a second move. You get damage for slam. You get ferocious lick, but if you flip, the Pokemon's now paralyzed. For Snorlax, Slumber can't be moved out of the active spot by your opponent until it has an energy attached, or if they use a Poke Flute. A Poke Flute here says, and then he actually attaches a Poke Flute, which is dope. Your active Pokemon is now awake. Your Snorlax retreat cost is 1 this turn. Your opponent chooses 1 Pokemon to move from the bench to the active spot if Snorlax is in their active spot. So I like a combo piece here. I think giving more HP to Snorlax, finding ways to make it have more viability, and like, I'm a tank but I can move, like here's a card that's like meant for me for support, so that way I can like retreat easier. Like, I'm always a fan of, I like, once you throw Snorlax out there, he's just kind of stuck, right? Like, and your opponents can easily play around that, so like, why not try to find different ways to play around with him? So I like this idea, and bringing in Ash and Gary into Pokemon Pocket sounds pretty sweet. Their effects are great. Take 1 Pikachu at random from your deck to your hand. Take 1 Eevee at random from your deck to your hand. I don't know if it's really random because there's only 2. You can only do 2, but at least with Pikachu, you can do Pikachu or Pikachu EX. And maybe that like an effect in it, but it could be strong. Eevee decks aren't strong right now, but maybe this kind of support is what's needed to get it there. Chris Nichols loves the idea of adding in Team Rocket and Gym Leader Pokemons. And their way is adding a pack for Team Rockets. I think that's cool. Getting more chances to like get cards or open up, like just adding more into like that carousel, into that rotation is always fun. And then we're gonna be able to see that with, you know, however many that we get with this mini set. But this second part here is also another fun way of like bringing everybody into the fold. We have the competitive events that are going on, especially with this 5-win streak that like some of y'all are crushing right now, and some folks are, you know, they're getting there. But this idea that the gym leader Pokemon should be a gift for completion of a solo mode where you beat each gym leader and earn their badge signature card. I think they ramp up their AIs. I think they, you know, they have expert right now. Maybe there's like master, or maybe there's champion. They add like a specific level for this, or the different levels is just like all of the gym leaders that, like, you know, in the beginning of like Fire Red, you have like an Onyx and a Geodude, and then, you know, as you get up into the expert, you get the full levels of everything that they had. Maybe they do that later in the game, I don't know. But I like this idea that this is like a solo mode, and the special piece that you get for it is not like a promo pack where you get a chance to get something, but you beat the gym, and therefore you get your badge and your signature card. And adding like a campaign or story kind of mode into the game where you can walk through that with a generation, and if this is done well, they can do this for all the other generations that they have there. They can do it with the Elite Four. So this like opens up a lot of different kind of content that can definitely get more people into it, because ooh, now there's a story, or ooh, I can like really scratch that nostalgia-ish, or be introduced into a new world because, you know, I found out about Pokemon in Gen 8 or something, you know? So I really liked that idea a lot. Mr. Lucky, I think, has the sentiment that everybody wants to see. As they say, I'm hoping they'll add some more Metal Mons, at least a Metal EX. They could give us Metal versions of Magnemite and Magneton. I don't know how far from the real TCG they want to deviate, but a Metal Magneton EX would be cool. From what I could tell, the Pikachu EX we have in TCG Pocket doesn't exist in the paper TCG, so cards unique to TCG Pocket like a Metal Magneton EX would be possible. And then their second idea is some support for 2+ energy decks would be nice. It's fine right now, but they would like to see some kind of change with this. That way mono type decks aren't as prevalent. So let's talk about this first part, because I think more Metal Mons in general would be pretty sweet. And I think it was lacking in the way that it is right now, because this is the first set, right? Like, they have so much more to go. So like, something had to give a little bit, so that way you are more enticed to continue to open up packs, or more enticed when you do see something that's getting there. I also think that like they wanted to hit home, like, here are the fan favorites, here's the nostalgia, so you know your Bulbasaurs, your Charmanders, your Squirtles, your Pikachus, right? Like, they're naming all those things. It's similar to how like we only have one dragon, even though we do have other generations in the game, aka Greninja. So I love this idea of adding more Metal Mons. I would love to see a Steelix. I would love to see a Scizor. I would love to see those EX versions in there as well, to make Scyther and Onix a more playable, or more wanting to pick kind of card, and that would be pretty sweet. A Metal Magneton EX would be dope. I think that is another way that they can go about these, is like give the Kantomons their second typing, and like that's pretty cool. And you know, maybe they don't have their second typing in Gen 1, but they have it later on in the game. That's awesome. So like maybe you can get and you probably never would, but like Venusaur is grass and poison. We've seen poison types get the dark typing. So would we get a dark Venusaur? I don't know. But like this plays around with it. And again, Pokemon Pocket can do what they want because it's just digital based. So they can make up cards like this. And we've seen them be successful in making up cards that fit the game style. So I wouldn't put it past them. And it'd be pretty sweet to see how creative they can get. Wings Bound shared that they would love to see full heal, Lance for Dragon support, Super Potion, 2 evolutions, and a Kingdra in terms of Pokemon, and Great Ball. Great Ball. Let me see if we can find out what Great Ball does in a TCG, but I think some of the other ones, Super Potion, instead of healing 10, if it heals 30, I think that's fine. Is it broken? Like, so would you ever run Potion then? Right? Like maybe not, right? Because it's like, why would you run Potion if you could run Super Potion? Maybe you're just like leveling up in terms of that. Maybe grass types get this like super boost because now they have Potion, like the Venusaur decks. Now you have Potion, Super Potion, Erica, Butterfreeze if you're running that, and the heal from it. Could be like you just never take it down. Could be that you never take it down. Great Ball says that like look at the top 7 cards of your deck, choose a Pokemon you find there, reveal it, and put it into your hand, shuffle the other cards back into your deck. That could be cool. Maybe, I don't know if they like want you to look, because I also feel like this would be an auto include as well, right? Like why would you not? Maybe you look at just like the top 2, or is it like Pokédex? You look at the top 3 and then choose it. Pokédex is now never a card that you really pick or ever run once something like this comes out. People aren't really running Pokédex now, so like I don't think that's too much of a worry. But these are like things to think about, and maybe they're just like, okay, this is how we like balance our games by just introducing new cards, and that's how they want to go instead of rewriting the other ones. So why not? I think the real key here though is Lance for Dragon support, and I think that's great. I love this idea of the Dragon typing being able to get their trainer card, because they don't have that yet. Your each typing, I believe, except for Psychic, but for Psychic you have Gardevoir to help your support there. But you have Fire with Blaine, you have Lieutenant Surge with Electric, you have Misty with Water, you have Erica for Grass, you have Brock for Fighting, even though it's very specific cards. Having something for Dragons, they need the love. They need to love that dual energy, and you need those specific energies that are tough. And in the standard TCG, it's not just water and electric. Sometimes it's water and grass. Sometimes it's fire and fighting. And so depending on the mon is how they choose those dual energies. And so I think having, you know, Lance for Dragonite, but like other supports for those would be pretty sweet for them to nail pretty well. And then lastly, I think this one is so good and so on it. Cammy Hart says, I'm hoping we will see some things like Kanto shiny Pokemon. We have shiny starters, shiny legendaries, and some fan favorite shinies would be so good. I'd also love to see regional forms of Kanto Pokemon like Alolan Rattata or Hisuian Growlithe. Finally, I'd like to see other types of Kanto Pokemon such as the metal type Magnemite line. Let's break this down. Shiny Pokemon. We have like the card sets, and I think I have it here. I do show y'all. We have like this pack, like it exists in real form. Shining Face is there, and so being able to have the shiny cards for it would be sweet. Getting that black Charizard would be lovely. Seeing a green Machamp would be hilarious. But I like this idea of being able to do that. As a collector in me, I would go for those shining cards without a doubt and just keep ripping them. So that would be a really good pull. Shiny stars, shiny legendaries, and some favorite shinies is like perfect for that. And I think they don't stick it to just Kanto. They can hit any of the genetic Apex cards that we have now. So even getting shinies of Greninja, which people love to see, would also probably be really dope for them to do. This idea of regional forms gives new gens new life because they are Gen 1 Pokemon, but they came out in later gens. Like, so your Alolan or your Hisuians would be a great shout out to see them in the game as well too. And it gives room to introduce new playstyles and new typings for them. Hisuian Growlithe could be fighting because it's a rock type. Alolan Rattata could be a dark type. So it just introduces new lines and also new typings for cards that we normally have right now. And Cammy is not the only person who wants to see the new metal type Magnemite line. Again, having the cards that we have now showcase their secondary typing as like their card or their typing in the game would be pretty sweet and an interesting way to play with the cards. So yeah, y'all brought in so many interesting ideas and it was so fun to read through all of them. These are some of my favorite ones I want to showcase with you all. Let me know what your thoughts are on what the audience shared. What these takes are. Go ahead, let me know down in the comments. Let me know what else you're thinking about. Who knows? Maybe we'll make another video before the mini set comes out. But this was such a great interaction with everyone, and I'm really excited to showcase this. So until the next time, y'all, peace.